Welcome to The Universe is Talking, Episode 6. I'm your host, King.
And I'm your host, Aja.
Today's topic, does love and money mix? You want to start this one off for us?
Sure. Full disclosure, we had a completely different topic planned for today, and we got derailed, but for good reason. King and I were having a discussion based on a post that we saw that someone made about women who beg for money from men that they're in relationships with or they're having sex with. They ask for money for things like hair, nails, clothes, anything and everything, money to get them out of trouble, and it led to a deeper discussion between King and I because I was looking at the comments that were on this post, and I'm like, are women really this way? And I'm not going to say that men are not also this way, but the discussion was really driven by female behavior when it comes to the men that they're sleeping with or they're involved with. And the thought was there were a lot of comments from women who were saying that, demand for money for those things, for their hair, for their nails, for anything, that they already know that he's not the one because they shouldn't even have to ask for money. It should just be automatic that he gives it to them. And it really made me sad. It made me feel sad that was the mentality that a lot of women had when it came to being in relationships with men. It was a broader conversation that was taking place where a lot of women who find themselves in a financial issue will start a conversation off like, you won't believe what just happened to me, or, just like something that kind of tells men that the next thing she's getting ready to ask for is that they own $40 or can you help me out of a situation. So I just wanted to, give our listeners just like a background on how we got here before I went into what I think about it. So
before you go on, let's give them even more of a background.
Okay.
The topic that we're going to discuss today, like you said, was not the topic that we were supposed to be discussing.
Right.
We changed our mind maybe 3 or 4 hours ago. And the reason we changed our mind it was because we were texting about it. And we were pretty much having a discussion already.
Yeah.
And like half of the topics that we are going to end up recording, we ended up saying to each other, you know what, this is a topic. Let's go with this. It just so happens that we're recording tonight. So what better topic to do than the one that we were already texting about?
Yeah. And, I get fired up. So,
yeah.
I get real huffy about some shit. And I'm all for women empowerment. So never think that I don't love us. I love us. I'm a woman. But part of loving us is being honest with ourselves about who the fuck we are and the things that we're doing that we need to improve upon or could improve upon to make our situation better. So I'll just, I wanted to say that because I know that my stance is sometimes real tough, but it is part of me holding us accountable because it's not, love isn't always, kumbaya and like everything is wonderful. Sometimes love is correction. So with that said, I have pretty strong convictions when it comes to money, period. Just the way I see money, the way that I see other people and their money, and me and my money in relation to other people's convictions for a really long time. I was raised by one person, my mom, though there were many, many people that were part of my upbringing, but my mom was the one who instilled so much in me. And things were not easy for her raising me, but she wanted me to have the best. But one of the things that she really made very clear was that I shouldn't be in a position or thinking to rely upon someone else to help me out of my problems. I watched her navigate many different problems on her own or with some of the help from the people really, really close to her, but mostly on her own. And I remember her talking to me once I got old enough and I started to enter into relationships or, friendships with boys where she made it very clear that I should not have an expectation to receive things from boys. Matter of fact, it was kind of like, don't take anything from boys because their expectations of me might not really go with what I want. So when I was a teenager and becoming a young woman, I accepted no gifts. You couldn't give me nothing. I mean, you had to force a gift upon me in order for me to take it, but certainly I would never ask you for money. And it was a mentality that I carried even into my marriage. There have been times when my husband has wanted to give me something and I'm like, I'm good, I got it, or you don't have to do that for me. It's just, and I realize that I'm very different in that way. But that kind of conviction about being independent in my own way has made me very responsible with money and has made me think of money as something that I'm responsible with having, and that the things that I need, the resources that I need, all those things have to be provided by me. I've been in situations where I've needed help for sure, but there's only been like 2 people in my lifetime or around me that I've been comfortable enough with asking any help, my grandmother and my mother. And it's been years, it's been decades since I've asked for anything from either of them. So I wanted to grow up to be a woman that could help people, not someone who was always asking for help. And so I kind of put myself in a position to be able to be a little self-sufficient or mostly self-sufficient. And how that works in my relationships, it always happened to work in the relationships that I've had with men, is that, my expectation as far as dating is that you court me, take me places, you do things that are part of the dating game.
That's a great word, by the way, courting.
That's what it is for me.
Absolutely.
So your responsibility is to court me, and my responsibility is to participate in that courting, to make it very clear whether this is something that is going to work for me so that I'm not just wasting your time, that I'm not just spending your money while you taking me to places to eat, but I make myself available, and if I don't want to be available, then I take myself out of that game. So I'm sorry.
I'm laughing because you just made me think about something. Keep going.
So that was how I viewed dating, but never, like something like my hair and my nails, not that I was into acrylics or any of that anyway, but my hair was always done, but it was going to get done whether or not I was in a relationship with him or not. So why would I be looking to him to pay for my hair? Why would I be looking to anybody to help me pay bills? Like, I don't get that mentality. So my mentality when it comes to men and women and money is, if we are just dating or if we're just boyfriend and girlfriend, you don't owe me shit. You don't have to take care of me at all. I'm not your responsibility. When I become your responsibility is when we're together. I expect that you don't do anything that's going to put me in harm's way and potentially keep me out of harm's way, and just make sure that we have a good time. But you don't have a financial responsibility in my life. Like, I'm a grown person. This is my job. I'm supposed to be able to handle this. And it's not until we get married, honestly, like that's just how firm my conviction is. when we are in a position where we're making financial decisions about our future together, that is when I start to see my money and your money being something that we're both involved in. Until then, you have no responsibility to me. So this idea that a man is supposed to take care of whatever your needs are and that should just be automatic is just crazy to me. And it seemed to me that what a lot of these women were saying is because you're fucking me, you're supposed to take care of me. Saying that men are paying for their pussy. That's what it seemed like. Like, it seemed like that's what they're saying. Like, all I can offer you is this pussy, and I give you this pussy. I get good pussy, and your job is to now take care of me. And I just wonder where that comes from. Any ideas?
I should have got myself something to drink for this one. All right, so when I was running earlier, I had a lot of different thoughts about this topic, and I really hope that I hit every single thought that I had about this topic. So I want to begin with the question that you asked me to start all of this off in a text. When did all of this begin, you asked me?
Yeah.
All right, so in 2004, I went into the strip club. I didn't come out of the strip club until maybe about 2012, 2013 maybe, when I wasn't going frequently anymore. Somewhere in between that time, strip culture became very popular. And what I mean by strip culture, it became very popular for the songs to be about the stripper and how much money I'm spending on the stripper and how I'm making it rain at the strip club on the stripper. To answer your question, I believe that around this time, the thought process changed to, I got to get that nigga to spend money on me. I got to get that nigga to make it rain on me. I got to get that nigga to blow his bags on me. He got to buy me some bags. He got to buy my Chanel, my Gucci, my Louis. I believe this all played a part into where we are now, where women are expecting men to spend money on them for some strange reason.
Right.
Now, in the Playboy Lifestyle, it involves 5 or more women. It's very fucking expensive to deal with women if you plan on having a good time. Because, yeah, there has to be dates. You have to court them. And it can be as simple as just buying flowers, just buying a card, box of chocolates. That's bare minimum right there. It can go to the next level where there's movies and dinner. It can go to be beyond that, where now you have comedy shows or music concerts that you're going to. Then you can go to the next level and there's vacations, getaways, one-day trips. All of that is money. How much money depends on the man and the woman involved in the situation and what they're into. I was listening to a podcast over the weekend, and one of the co-hosts on the podcast said that some men start off with the introduction to the woman with, hey, how about you meet me in Jamaica?
Hey?
All right, so in the strip club, we call this tricking.
Yeah.
That nigga just showed her that he's willing to trick on her, and she will never be the same because she expects every man that comes after him to trick on her. If tricking is what you're into, by all means, do what you do, my man. But to her, every nigga is not out here to trick on you. We didn't trick when we were in the strip club. We were not fucking the stripper. We were fucking the woman. Yes, her stage name was whatever it was, but outside of that strip club, we addressed her by her real name. I say again, we didn't trick in the strip club. and we not about to trick on you outside of the strip club. Your hair got to get done? Okay, go get it done. Your nails got to get done? Go ahead and get it done. You got an attitude with me because I didn't do it for you? Go holler at the other nigga that you fucking and have him go do it. The game is the game, and I'm cool with the game. But don't look at me and think for 1 second that I'm some sucker nigga that's about to pay for your hair and your nails just because we fucking. Because we are just fucking.
Right.
Even if we go beyond just fucking and I want to have a good time with you, we go get into whatever we got to go get into or whatever the situation might be. I still have no responsibility whatsoever to take care of you and maintain your appearance.
Right. Like, why are you expecting him to take care of that? Weren't you going to do your hair? Weren't you going to do your nails? Weren't you going to buy some outfits with or without him? Like, why are you needing him to do any of this? And that just says to me that you're just there for the money.
She doesn't need him to do it. She wants him to do it so she can go brag and talk about it to whoever she's going to go brag and talk about it to. That could be social media. That could be her girlfriends. She could call them, text them, whatever. He just did this for me. She looks like the princess in shining armor because she has him doing this for her. It's not genuine on her part at all.
Right.
I don't want to go too far, so I think I'm going to cut that first thought right there before I go into the next one.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
You want me to go or?
Oh, okay. I'll go.
Okay, you go.
I just think that it goes deeper than the maintaining the looks thing. It's because the other part of this discussion is that these women are begging for financial help. You know, that often they don't have no money. And that, you know, like they'll start the conversation off making it very clear that there's some sort of crisis that happened and they need help. They need a favor. They need somebody to do something for them. And my thing is, whether or not this person is your lover or used to be your lover, whatever, if this person is not your husband and he's not like really, really your man, like the person that you're building some sort of future with, because I don't want to make the assumption that everybody has to be married. I mean, there are certainly people who are maintaining and doing things together and working towards a future that have no legal commitment, and that's fine. But if that's not the relationship that you have, why are you coming to this guy for his money? Why are you constantly finding yourself in a situation where you have to come to him for money? And I don't know if they genuinely have a problem and they're going to these people to help them out, or if they just, you know, like they just are collecting money from a number of men to, you know, get, I don't know what that is to me. It's sad to me that we're not in a place where we have our shit together as grown people. Like, we don't have our shit together. So because we don't, we're constantly finding ourselves in situations where we don't have what we need and we got to get some man to bail us out of the situation. And I'm sure that this man, whether or not you were having sex before, is now, if he does help you, if he even wants to, you know, is at this point going to be like, okay, so what you going to do for me? And what can you do? Because you're in a situation where you're not financially okay, you know, like saying thank you and I owe you later really doesn't work very well for a lot of guys. I mean, they got a number of women that's asking them for shit. So they're going to be like, what you going to do for me? And this is like, I think it leads to prostitution. Honestly, I'm thinking that there are people who are literally selling their pussies without going through the actual conversation of I'm selling my pussy. But that's essentially what's happening is you got to give up something in order for this person to feel comfortable with providing you with some, which is worrisome for me. Not that I'm against prostitution. Actually, I had a conversation with someone a long time ago that I kind of admire prostitutes, but I didn't like the middleman. So my issue with prostitution is if there's anybody in the middle of the transaction, like, can't nobody sell my pussy better than me? Like, don't nobody else have a right to be saying what I'm going to get for my own body. But anyway, that's a different conversation. But my
yes,
point is, when it comes to this, is you're not being authentic, though. You're selling it not because you're seeing this as a means, like an actual career choice for yourself. You're doing it because you haven't gotten your shit together. And but the conversation, this post, and the mentality of the women is the thing that I can't get over. It's this, a man is supposed to take care of me thing. That's his job. That's what they're saying. It's his job to take care of me. And the men were saying, you're not my wife.
Right.
You're not my wife. And I'm all like, I agree. Now, I think
she's not anybody's wife?
Because you don't have anything to offer.
Not at all.
You don't have nothing to offer.
That pussy's not as valuable as she thinks it is.
Right. That's exactly right. Because that's not what men marry. Which this is a different discussion, but it kind of, like, I can't ignore it at this point. But I've seen a lot of conversations where women be like, they'll see a woman who doesn't appear to be all that attractive, or there's a lot of very heavy set women, full figured, or even just like obese by white people standards. And this person's married, and they often wonder, how is she married? And here I am looking all like this, and I can't even get a man who consistently calls me or texts me. And then the thought is that these men aren't really happy with these women, that they're just with them for, but I don't know that anybody's thinking about the heart.
Right.
So while you spending all this time getting your hair done and your nails done and buying the Gucci and the Louis Vuitton and begging for shit all the damn time, he's looking at you thinking, this is not the kind of woman that I want to spend the rest of my life with. This is not the kind of woman that I want to have a home with. This is not the kind of woman that I want to be the mother of my children. I need someone that's going to make me happy. I need someone that's going to smile with me and laugh with me and all this stuff. I mean, I know it sounds corny to a lot of people who want to live the glamorous life, but I got to tell you, being married and having the quiet, peaceful, have a good time and not out on the streets and going out occasionally, like, that's a good life. And so if, she's fat or she, kind of frumpy, or you think that she could have, did a little bit more with her hair, or she could have put on some Louis Vuitton, I don't know, whatever you thought she should have did, what she's probably focusing on are the important things, and that's what's making him happy. Is it possible that he isn't and he is just with her for whatever? Possible. But it is probably more possible or probable that a lot of these men are finding happiness with women who are focused more on the inside, and that is what they want. So I think that is probably a lesson for some listeners who are curious. Some men are with women who don't necessarily appear to have it all, but they do. Like, they have what's most important.
Well, you look good as fuck. You look fly as fuck.
Oh, thank you. I know I do.
I'm not talking about you.
You were talking about me.
I'm not talking about you. So you look good as fuck. You look fly as fuck. But you don't have it. You don't have that it factor that makes him want to marry you. And that it factor is not something that you could go buy at the store or go get surgery and all of a sudden magically you have it. That it factor is in you. That it factor is your morals and your outlook on life, your ambition, your goals for life. That's the it factor. And you can try to disguise it in whatever hair, nails, shoes, dresses, brands that you want to disguise it in, but when all that come off, it's still just you. And that's what we're going to marry or not marry, you. So the other thought that I had about all of this is a man will do for a woman that he knows either does not know any better about this stuff. She really needs him to handle these things for her because she doesn't have a man in her life that ever showed her that she needed to get her oil changed every now and then. Every 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever type of car you drive will dictate that. She never had a man show her that. She just doesn't know. So a man will step up and go take the car to go get the oil change so that way she knows. And he'll handle that as his responsibility for her throughout the duration of their relationship. He'll do that. Because she's his woman, if she says, hey, I need my nails done and I'm a little short this week, is it any way that you could help me? He'll do it because she's his woman and she came across with the right approach and asked him gently. Some of these women take the strong arm approach, though. You're my man, you need to do this. You're my man, you better, or else. Okay, go get that nigga to do it. I'm cool with that. Because I didn't get with you to do that shit.
Right.
A man will do it for a woman that he really feels that type of connection for. It doesn't mean he wants to marry that woman. It just means that he's on a level with her where he's observing her and he knows that she just doesn't know any better or she really does not have it. So when she asks, he's going to be a little more willing to do it as opposed to the woman who's demanding it. Some women see that man and think that that's just the way he is. So if I get him to leave her and get with me, he's going to be that way with me also. And then they find out, nah, that's not the way it goes. Because that shit wasn't for you, and you are not her. That shit was for her.
Yeah.
You don't even fucking deserve it. What makes you think that you deserve the same treatment? You and him are not on the same level. You don't have the same chemistry. You don't have the same connection. You and him haven't even discussed goals, honestly. The only goals that you discussed was, are you available tonight so we can fuck? Are we going to fuck? When we going to fuck? Those are the only goals that the two of you discussed. So what makes you think that is going to go from that to him all of a sudden spending his money on you?
Good question. And I think that the foundation of this whole discussion is men and women, okay? Because there are men clearly who are in relationships with women who have it going on, have a good paying job, have, a house, cars, all the things that they've ever wanted. They got it. They've taken care of it on their own. And they get involved with a man who has maybe less than, or maybe he struggles financially from time to time, and they help take care of him. And I know that it's a discussion that, or a conversation that has been around for a long time, men who leech off of women who have more, and whether or not, how long can you or should you stay in a relationship with a man who is unable to provide you with the things that you need and the things that you want? So it's not just women do this to men do it to women. But I think from both sides, really the foundation is we need to learn, men and women need to learn how to be financially able, capable, and stable thing to allow the person who loves you or is really digging you to treat you from time to time. But it's another thing to not be able to really stand up on your own 2 feet ever and constantly needing someone to bail you out of trouble. That's a whole different thing to me. So I'm not saying what you were talking about earlier is, taking her car to get the oil changed and things like that. But what I would say is rather than you always doing it, that is something that you teach her. Because at some point, you're not going to be there. In the perfect world, her father or her uncle or whoever was her male figure or should have had a male figure in her life to show her these things. But a lot of times we don't have that happening with us. And so we get with a man, and this man has the opportunity to kind of mold us and teach us. Hopefully he's a good one, and he shows us the right things, the things that are good and valuable. So in that situation, why not tell her? Why not show her so that she can start to do those things independently? And if it just so happens that you two end up in a long-term relationship and that's just something that you do because you love her and you just want to take care of her, because that's what I'm hearing you say, is that some men just love to take care of their woman. There are things that my husband just does for me that he just loves to take care of for me. It's very special and endearing to me. It's never having anything to do with money, but it's just something that he does for me because he knows that I like it or I would want it or I need it. And it's a consistent and regular thing that it's just part of our relationship. That's cool. I love that he wants to take care of me and that he does. But that's a whole lot different than I don't never have no money, I'm broke. And so I got to ask him for money all the time. Unless, of course, so now, with us being married, this is where I think is different. When you are a husband and wife team, you may have decided that one partner isn't going to work for whatever the reasons. Maybe it's because you have children and, one of the people needs to be home for the children, take care of the house, whatever. But that's a decision that you've made together, and you've already looked at your finances and said that financially we're capable, we're able to do this, that one of us gets to stay home. Now, that person that stays home does not have income. How do they get it? They get it from their partner. In that situation, that makes sense.
Right, I agree with you.
You know what I mean? Because there's no other way around that. There is no other income. So that discussion needs to have been taken place where you've decided, okay, here's my allowance. And I can't say shit about that. I think that's a wonderful arrangement. If you can afford it, if nobody's resentful, if you trust your partner to give you the allowance, if that person is always consistent with the allowance, because I imagine that if people don't actually come through with the allowance, you're going to feel a certain kind of way because now you can't handle some of the things that you need to do for yourself. And now you're like, here I am stuck in this house, taking care of the children in the house or whatever, and I don't have no money to do the basic things. So it has to work. Like, it has to be fully agreed upon and be something that you can afford. But that's a marriage. That's a marriage. That's not just some chick that you're having sex with and you're saying, okay, I'm going to give you an allowance every 2 weeks. And we're just going to disguise this as, I don't know, I just think that you're supposed to take care of me and give me money for my hair and my nails. So, I don't know. I mean, that, I just feel very strongly about it. And I think that this is a discussion that will probably never end. There's probably always going to be men and women who are coming to other men and women for money in order to take care of themselves. But I would love it if we I guess we're just a little bit more self-sufficient until we're in a part or a place in our relationship where money is no longer an issue.
Now let's talk about when the man does do this thing that she's requesting. She asked him to do it, or she took the strong arm approach and she told him he had to do it, and he does it. She's not even showing the gratitude necessary for him to even consider doing it again. She's walking away with whatever it is that she asked for, and she never thanks him. She never tells him that she appreciates it. She treats him like the trick that he is.
Yeah.
I hope that he learned his lesson and saw that she didn't deserve it in the first place. If he's a man of any kind, he has priorities. Put that money and fix up your credit. Put that money towards fixing up your credit. Put that money in a bank and save it. If you have children, your children are your priority. If you have a house, the house is a priority. And if everything is good with the house, there should be an account for expenses for that house when everything is not good.
Mm-hmm.
You have priorities if you are truly an adult, man or woman. Those priorities should be much bigger than blowing money on some man or woman who doesn't deserve it to begin with.
Those priorities should be bigger than spending money on your hair and your nails, because if you're asking for money for your hair and your nails, you can't afford to get your hair and your nails done.
Or maybe she can't afford it and she wants him to spend his money so she can keep her money.
Yeah, but see, I'm thinking, and this is just my thought, that I don't know. Like, see, I know women who have money, and I know women who look like they have money. There are two different types of women. Women that really have money, like truly are financially capable, like they have money in the bank. They're not waiting for no man to take care of them. They take care of their own shit. They really do. They take care of their own shit. But there's a lot of women out there who look like they have money. Don't get me wrong, they got jobs, they getting a paycheck, but they don't have enough money to actually maintain the lifestyle. This is why they look for men to take care of that lifestyle. Because if they were to do it, they're spending rent money, car note money. They're spending money that's supposed to go to something else on hair, nails, and clothes. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that there aren't some outliers. I'm just saying that the vast majority of people who are financially capable of taking care of themselves, they generally do. It is the people who really do not. And, I mean, I guess nobody really knows what's going on in anyone's bank account to say. But I can't imagine, I got savings. Like, I'm able to pay my bills every 2 weeks or, every month, whatever. I'm able to do all that. I got enough money to save. I got money in my retirement. I can afford to go on vacations. I rarely use a credit card. Like my car is either paid down or, maybe it's used. I don't even have a car note, but I am not in debt. Like I have money and I'm going to sit here and wait around for some man to give me $40. That doesn't make any sense. Hell fucking no. I mean, I don't wait on anybody to do anything for me. I have my own. I could take care of myself. So, I really believe that the vast majority, okay, there may be some, but the vast majority of the women we're talking about, they really don't have it. I'm not saying they don't have nothing in their pocket, but imagine every 2 weeks you get paid $1,500, and you got a car, you got rent, you got children, you got to put gas in the car, $1,500 is no money.
Right.
Those are not people who have money. They're living paycheck to paycheck. This is why they need a man who is going to take care of those things. so that they can have $200 to buy food. I'm not judging. Trust me, I'm not judging. It's sad to me. It's sad to me because it's part of a larger issue of us as in really the community of people that we're part of, our men and our women, not being in a position to truly be okay. Because if you got to beg for hair money, for nail money, for anybody to get you out of trouble, like every so often the same person keeps coming around with a crisis and they need help, we're not okay. Like, we haven't gotten our shit together. And I'm just saying we have to. We've got to get our shit together in order to be okay. And we're just not. And, coming to some man who is likely struggling just like you are. Seriously. Men, from what I remember, because I was raised around men. My grandfather was a man. My uncle was a man. I mean, I had lots of male role models in my life. Men are taught to always have money. Always have money.
Right. That's what a man does. A man has money.
Has money. He's always prepared. He has money. He's able to take care of his problems. But does that mean that he actually, truly has it? I imagine my grandfather always had money because he did. He always had money. You could always see the money, too. At the end of the day, because he would jitney, too. After he retired, he jitneyed. And so he played the lottery, too. My grandfather had money. But was he rich? He wasn't rich. I mean, if I came to him with, if he had lived that long and I needed $1,000, I don't know that my grandfather would have been able to just give me $1,000. That's not the type of money that a lot of people have. They don't have wealth. They have paycheck money that they're holding on to, and then they may be able to help you out with a little bit of something. So for you to be in this, he's supposed to be taking care of me type of mode, and he's trying to take care of himself, but he has to be a man. So he's got to look the part. It's really just a shame. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I just can't subscribe to that men are supposed to take care of us. I really believe that we're supposed to take care of each other.
Right.
There are things that I provide for our family that, and not that I cannot think financially, and that I do. I'm a really good money person. So that's part of the reason why you're married. Yes. you provide a skill set that makes you valuable. Before I started to write full time, I worked in the corporate world, and it looks like right now the trend is everybody wants to be self-employed. There's so many ventures of people being self-employed, and there's this snobbish look at people who go into work every damn day and work for somebody else and get a paycheck. Let me say this about self-employed. If you're going to be self-employed, selfly pay your own motherfucking bills, too. You're not self-employed if you can't pay your own bills. Right. See, this is my thing. You can't guilt somebody who goes in to some other job and gets a paycheck and can pay their bills, while you are self-employed and living your own life and supposedly living your best life, but you can't pay rent, you can't pay your car note, you can't put gas in it, you can't buy food, you're living with somebody else. Because it's very easy to say that you're living your best life and this self-employment thing is working when you're not handling everything. Yeah, it's really easy. And I crack up because I know people who are self-employed and always talking about living their best life and doing, living their dreams, and they're broke. They're broke. So am I saying that you can't live your dreams and that there's something wrong with that? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that maybe you need to execute a better plan that will allow you to be self-sufficient in this place. Maybe you needed to go out and work in the workforce a lot longer and build up your money.
Right, and put a plan together and have some money set aside.
Exactly.
As you explore this business venture that you're looking to be successful in.
Exactly. Can't look to your friends and your family to fund your businesses. You really can't. The vast majority of people, especially when we're talking about Black people, they don't have no damn money. They don't have no money. Like I got people who don't buy my books. I don't care. I'm not looking for my friends and my family to support my business. My business has got to be ran in the from the thought that I got to build my readership. I got to build my following, like those people who want to read me, not people that I guilt into reading because I'm like, we're related. You should be buying my books. No, I mean, because if you don't like this shit, don't buy it. So
yeah, those aren't people who are really going to support you in the long run anyway.
No, usually, like I remember when my first book came out, everybody bought it. Everybody I knew bought my book, and it was live. I mean, it was just so crazy the type of support I got, and I will always remember it, and I'm always like thankful for it. But when the second release came around, that for me was when I realized who my readers were and who were just people who supported me. There was success there. I mean, I've had a great career, but there was a difference. There was certainly there were less people, and not everybody was just buying it. The novelty of me had worn off. Those supporters were like, okay, she's really doing this shit. Okay, good for her. And it was like, they moved on, did whatever the hell they wanted to do. They're not readers, or they don't read what I write. And so I don't cater to them. I don't promote to them. I'm not trying to get them to buy my books. I don't want just supporters. I want you to be a reader. So I say all this to say, I worked in the corporate world for a long time, making money, building, my career and my independence and my financial security. Moving to a place where I no longer worked for someone else and I worked for myself was a decision that had to be made by both my husband and me, and it couldn't be made if we were going to suffer because of it. Couldn't be in a position where I'm needing him to now help dig me out of problems and situations, even though he is my husband, even though he is, he definitely feels responsible and is responsible for his family, for both me and our children. He's a good man, yes. But did I think that, it was just his problem? No. So one of the things that I did was, even though we had a financial plan of how we were going to manage, one of the other things, part of being financially capable, was how do you save money? How do you save money? So now that I'm not going out there, there's a lot of things I don't spend money on. Now that I'm home most of the time, there are things that I can do to help bring revenue into the house that I wouldn't otherwise have been able to do or had the time or the energy for. I'm creative in that way. So here's my thing for anybody listening. If you are broke, if you are constantly in the position where you need someone to help you, man, woman, whoever, people that you fucking, people that you used to fuck, your best friends or whatever the case may be, whoever, it's time now for you to come up with some other financial help for yourself. You need to come up with a hobby, something that you enjoy doing that also pays. Not something where you have to beg people to do it. You have to have something that is actually like someone wants. Got to be selling something someone wants and someone will pay for. Or find ways to be creative to generate income or save money that you're currently spending. So that's where I said, if you can't afford your hair and your nails, you can't afford them. It's really okay. It's really okay to not. It's really okay not to get that shit done every 2 weeks. You'll survive it, like you will.
You can't tell them that. But I want to make sure I talk about this one right here. Does love and money mix?
I don't think it mixes well. I don't think it mixes well.
Well, if the goal is to go beyond just fucking, then at some point that love and money is either going to have to mix, or that man and woman is going to have to stop mixing. Because if she's looking to be married, if he's looking to be married, part of that marriage involves finances. A big part of that marriage involves finances. I mean, are they just going to be two broke motherfuckers? that has their money totally fucked up, and now they can't pay their bills together. They can't travel together, credit together. Are they going to be that type of couple? And if so, and if that works for them, then okay, great. We will applaud you, because there's crackheads that get high together, and they have an incredible marriage. But are they going to grow together, though? Are you going to grow beyond whatever you came in with? Are you going to list some goals for the next 5 to 10 years and try to knock those goals down? Are you going to write down places that you would like to travel to in the country, outside of the country, and cross those things out as the years go on? If you don't have your passport, are you going to get your passport so that way you can travel outside of the country? Are you in debt and need to bring that debt down and make it disappear together? Those are the things that start to come into play if you two are going to be more than just fucking, or more than just dating, more than just courting each other, more than just a relationship to see where things can go. If you are going to go beyond that, then the love and the money has to mix. You don't have to have it all figured out initially as those conversations begin. But the longer the relationship, the marriage goes on, the more attention needs to be paid to how that money is mixing, where the money is going, how it's being distributed. Are we wasting it on bullshit? Can he not go get the latest pair of Jordans that came out and put that money in the bank instead? Can she not get her hair done this particular time and put that money in the bank instead? Can he? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, I fully agree with you. And I think that really what it is not even money. It's spending habits. It's how you see money and how you use money. And while you're dating and courting and all of that stuff, you can tell, you can see how people use money, their habits with money. And that's like a good indicator of whether or not you can weather storms with or without money. Because I believe that you can start off with nothing and become financial powerhouses. Have good spending habits, and if you know how to save. Yeah. But if you can have all the money in the world, it seems like, but if you have bad spending habits, you can lose all that money. You know, I see people who do well when they have money, but don't know what the fuck to do when they lose money, because money is so fluid. Let's just face it. I mean, have you ever, like, had a whole bunch of money, like, you know, when I say a whole bunch, let's just say you have $1,000 and it was extra. Like, it wasn't your paycheck. Somehow you just got it. Maybe it's like your tax return. You got $1,000. And you ever just go somewhere and just handle a few things? It's gone.
The vacation alone costs more than $1,000.
Yes, it is gone. Money is fluid. It does not last. I mean, you can invest and money build, but even then, investments go bad all the time, and you lose money. Money is such a fluid thing. The only thing that is going to help you is how you see money and how you use money. Here's my thing. Money for me is a tool. I do not covet it. I don't love money. I don't there's no happiness that I get from money itself. I look at money always as a tool. When I get money, when I have money, when I'm using money, I see it as, here are the things that I love, here are the things that I need, and this is the thing that's going to help me get it. It's a tool for me. That's all it is. And that's how I maintain my finances. Because if I see it as a tool, I treat it as such. If I know what it's going to do for me or it can do for me, I don't place the value in the money, but in what it's going to do. I spend it wisely. I'll look at money. I'll look at $1 today, and I know what that dollar can do for me 2 days from now. Times that I had barely had anything, and I didn't buy nothing because I said to myself, I had already seen in the future my child was going to get a cold, and I was going to have to buy some damn Tylenol. And I didn't want to be in a position where I had to ask somebody to help me get some Tylenol. I'm just using that as an example.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't touch my money. See what I'm saying? I held on to it. I know this discussion we have went off a little bit, but I think that there are valuable lessons that can be learned and can be shared. I love it if our listeners would, leave a comment below with what their thoughts are. Is it okay to ask men and women that they're in a relationship with for money? Have they been in situations where they did they feel it like it was his responsibility to do so or her responsibility to take care of him? What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below. Do you have anything else?
No, I thought you were closing us out when you said it like that.
I guess I kind of was, but, then I realized I didn't ask you. So,
Well,
thanks for listening in on The Universe is Talking. If you enjoyed, please leave a comment below. Also, be sure to subscribe to be notified of new episodes every week.